yours? Good morning. Am I a few minutes behind? I am a few minutes behind. That's life. That happens. What's that song? Who sings it? I've sung it on here before. I may not be there when you call, but I'm always on time. Is that Rihanna? No, I don't think it's Rihanna. I don't know who it is. Good morning, Pam. How are you? Oh my God, Pam, I'm so upset that I missed the yoga workout this morning. Good morning. Hola, Claudia. ¿Cómo estás, mi hermana? ¿Cómo estás? Claudia, Chelsea asked me, Mom, can you still speak Spanish? You used to be able to speak Spanish so well. You used to be able to have conversations in Spanish. Can you still do that? I don't know. I don't ever do it. We'll see. We'll see. I need to start speaking Spanish again. I need to practice my Spanish. Good morning, Sue Lee. You were here. You were here yesterday, Sue Lee, I think. Anyway, good morning, Shay. Now French. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? I can speak French too. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to try to make the Fridays for sure then, because I need yoga in my life. I need to start getting up and being ready for the other ones too. The thing is, a lot of times I wake up in time to do that morning workout, but I'm not awake. Like my body is not awake. So I need to start getting up like 30 minutes prior to the workout so that I can be awake and ready to do it. I need to start doing that. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning. You know what I wanted to talk about today? Yesterday I was in conversation with a friend, and I need to move my camera. I feel like I'm looking down at you guys. So yesterday I was in conversation with a friend, and we were talking about our kids and having, yeah, see, that's better. I don't want to look down at you guys. And having someone that they can talk to when they can't talk to us, when they feel like they can't talk to us. And you know, it's so interesting because the other day, my son wanted to talk to his therapist, remember, and he was trying to send me out of the house. And he said, Mom, sometimes there's things that I need to talk about that I'm not comfortable talking to you with these certain things. I don't know what those certain things are. I'm curious to know what they are, but he won't tell me because he's not comfortable telling me. And it reminded me yesterday when I was talking to my friend that our kids, our people, like he set your clock, team no excuses. Yeah, who is that? Is that Pam telling me that? Let me get my Facebook open so I can know who's making these comments. Probably Pam calling me out. Oh no, that wasn't Pam calling me out. Good morning, Stace. You know, I know Saidia is phenomenal. I love Saidia. See, it's my childhood reconnecting, reconnecting to my childhood, because Saidia and Denise, and then Saidia's sister Nyambi was my best friend coming up. Wait, Claudia, is Mom with you watching my feed? Is my brother watching this too, Claudia? Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was having people in our children's lives that they can talk to. I can remember, yeah, I knew that was Pam calling me out. I remember when my children were younger. Do you know how many times I called my mother or a friend of mine and I explained the whole situation and I was like, look, call your grandson or call your granddaughter or call, if it was one of my friends, I'm like, you need to call Christian. Just figure out a reason to talk to him. Call him. This is what's going on. I'm about to kill him. He's not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not getting through to him. Call him and talk to him. And you have to have friends that are smart, right? You have to have friends that know, one, that are really involved in your children's lives so that when they call, It's not like, why are you calling me out of the blue? I haven't heard from you in months. Why are you calling me now? They have to know not to say, your mama told me to call you. Because as soon as you say, your mama told me to call you, you have lost them. They're not paying any attention to anything else that you say at this point because they're going to automatically think that you're on mama's side. They have to be able to call out of the blue. Hey, how are you? What's going on? They have to be crafty about how to get the kid to start talking about what mama just called and told you that they need to talk to you about. They have to be able to pull it out of the child without the child knowing that they already know my side of the story or that they already know your side of the story. Now, I have some friends that have screwed it up. I've got some people that have screwed it up. And so those are people that I don't call on anymore, right? Those are people that you then just say, okay, well, this one didn't work. That person didn't work to do what I need. Share your mom is the best at that. We have to get them on board, right? I used to call my mom on a regular basis. Call your grandson. He's about to die. Call your granddaughter. She's lost her mind. And my sister used to do the same with me. Do you know how many times my sister called me talking about call your niece? Call your niece. Call your niece. If it wasn't for male friends or family, I think I would have killed my 4 sons. I maybe flushed my phone down the toilet and disappeared. Right. Alicia says Leon's football parents do that all the time at all hours of the day and night. It is so important because we are always talking about how it takes the village to raise the child. And yet we don't really tap into the village. Enough of us. At this table, we're doing it. But we have to encourage everybody to do that. Tap into the village. Make sure that you are putting people in your life that your kids could go to and that you would trust your kids going to. Which means you can't be bringing people around your children who are, I want to say, bum-fucking idiots. That's what I want to say. You can have people around, you can have people in your life who are idiots. That's just the girl you go to the club with because she likes soca music and you like soca music. So y'all go to the soca music club together, but you ain't got to bring her around your kids. She doesn't have to be part of the life in your home. She could just be your soca music friend. You have to be able to separate that. You have to be able to understand who are the people that I bring home. Who are the people that I bring home and involve in my life, and who are the people that I just let be an acquaintance from a distance. So look, I have a couple of best friends, and I have already told them, all of them, they at some point they have been talked to about, look, my son has your phone number, and this is the thing, they have to know how to have the conversation with the child and bring back to you the concerns that they have or that the child has. Report back to you. They can't just be someone that's like, yes, I can have a conversation with your child. Yes, he can call me and talk to me whenever he wants, but our conversation is private. No, it ain't private. I have you in my child's life so that you can report back to me what's going on in my child's head. What good does it do the household or the family if you keep it private? Now, there may be parts of it that you keep private, but most of it really you shouldn't be keeping private. You should be bringing back to the parents. I had great people in my life. I tell my kids, use your resources, meaning my kind, brilliant, caring friends. Right. And you have to have enough of them that your kids get to pick which one they're comfortable going to. Because, they don't have to be comfortable going to all of them. Maybe they latch onto one of them. But they have to be, and even if it's the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, they have to know their responsibility as that resource. Your mother, your father, your sister, brother, cousin, uncle, friends need to know their responsibility because the village raising a child means that the village comes together has conversations. What's going on with this child? What's going on, and how can we all help? How can we help get this child to where, past this stupid point, past being ready to get kicked out of the house, past being ready to get killed, knocked upside the head with a frying pan? As that I was thinking of this morning, that, yeah, because sometimes these thoughts just go all over the place. That last night before, 24 robbers at my door. I got up, let him in, hit him in the head with a rolling pin. Right? How many times you want to hit your child in the head with a dang rolling pin? I don't know how many times I looked around the room like, what could I take them out with? All right, if it's the scissors, that would mean death. Can't do that. Can't do the scissors. If it's the coaster, that might crack a skull. Can't do that. All right. What about the candle? Oh, the candle. Yeah, that might. No, I can't do that. If it's this. Look, I literally do look around the room like, okay, what could I throw? What could I throw? Well, this is me. And when my kids see mama doing this, okay. They run. They know, like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I don't continue talking at that point. At the point where I shut up and I start looking around, tapping my fingers. Christian used to always say, okay, I'm gonna let you speak, mama. Okay. Like, boy, he knew mama is looking around for something that will take me out, but not take me out. Mama is about to kill me without killing me. Susie says when my mom was mad at me, she would put me on the church prayer list. Next thing I know, the pastor goes, let's all reach out our hands to Susie. Susie knew she was in trouble. Dang it, mama. Why you got to tell the whole church? How can I kill my kid without killing my kid? And then I'm either looking around the room for something to throw, something to, sometimes it would just, look, I would pick up like, okay, it's not going to hurt them. But dang it, they would get the message. Like, mama's going to start throwing stuff at me in a minute. I think I have thrown a shoe. But I got to wait until I make sure my aim is right, because I'm not trying to damage you for life. I'm just trying to tell you, shut your ass up. Get out of my face. I'm not arguing with you. I'm the mama. This is not a discussion. This is not a debate. I have given you instructions. Make it happen, Captain. So now I have this young one who doesn't feel comfortable talking to me about some things and thinks that I get upset because of that. What he doesn't understand is, I'm just happy you feel comfortable talking to somebody. I'm happy I am able to put somebody in your life that you can talk to. Whether it's with him, it's not his family, it's a therapist. And the difference in a therapy situation, the therapist is not going to bring anything back to me that they don't feel is important enough. Like if he's not threatening to harm himself or, something dangerous, the therapist isn't going to bring it back to me. I'm okay with that situation right now, but I really think that the therapist needs to when it's something with the child, they need to bring it back to the parent. How can we help our child if you don't come back to us and say, hey, this is what's going on with them? And then I have to address what's going on without making it appear that the therapist has talked to me. Because if I don't do that, then he won't trust the therapist anymore. So I would go to my mom or my sister, and I would talk to them. They would talk to the child. They'd report back to me, and then I would address it with the child, but maybe not the same day. Strategically address it with the child. Strategically do it so that the child does not know that Mimi just reported back to me. That's how you have to do it. You put people in your children's lives, in your life, not even in your children's life, because you go start saying, here's somebody you can talk to, here's somebody you can talk to. Are they going to talk to that person? You put people in your life that develops a relationship with the kids that you trust, and those children go to those people without you even knowing it. Shay said maybe have a session with him and the therapist. As therapists, we help the children use their own voice to learn to discuss issues with the parents. That must be, I can't see who that is, but I think that's Haidia. You know, Haidia, but sometime I'm going to call you Haidia. If you're not Haidia, correct me, because on my thing it just says Facebook user. But I know my therapist at the table is Haidia. Well, my therapist that comes to the table on a regular basis is Haidia. The thing about it, Haidia, is that sometimes, you know, that may or may not work. So what happens when that doesn't work? What happens when the child doesn't get the voice to speak to the parents? Now, I do trust that if it's something that's going to be detrimental to his health or safety, that the therapist will bring it to me. So I'm letting that go. And I'm not saying that, sometimes it's best that they don't report back to you every single little detail. You already stressed the hell out. That's why you sent them to the therapist or to the grandmother or to the pastor or to, you already stressed out. Look, fix this kid. Just fix them without me. And I'm not saying fix them like it's something wrong. I'm saying fix their issue. Help them understand how to work through their issue. Help them understand how to deal with whatever stressors that they have, and help them understand how to talk to me. That's great. Do it. Look, I'm doing this. I'm tired. Just somebody else do it. Steve says, Pastor came back to church the next week with a horrible limp while Sully was seen laughing out loud, paddling down the river with a bloody bat. That's right. Right. Exactly. Pastor's like, look, Mama, don't send Sully. Don't send me Sully anymore. Sully's like, what, me? Never. I would never do that to the pastor. I respect my pastor. It's so important, though, and I was just thinking about that because a friend of mine, and I'm talking about my friend's business specifically, but my friend is going through it with, one of her offspring, and she is smart enough to understand that she's going through it with the offspring, but there's comfort in her knowing that her child is still reaching out to her family, because you have not lost your child completely when your child is still connected to the people around you. And what is important is to understand, we've talked about this at this table before. Where you have to give your children the foundation. And as a part of their growing pains, they are going to stray. They are going to definitely stray from the middle, which is right. They're going to go off to the left or to the right. But if you give them a strong foundation, they're going to come back to that foundation. They're going to come back to that all the time. Now, it might take a year or 2 or 5 or 10. Because 2020 Christian, I never saw it coming, man, but I prayed for it. I love 2020 Chris, but do you know how long it took to get to 2020 Chris? How many years do we have? Right, 10 between 2010 and 2020. But he came to 2020 Chris on his own. At some point it clicked. At some point it clicked that he needed to improve himself and that he needed to be a better person. There wasn't enough talking in the world that we could have done. But we gave him the good morning, Robin. We gave him the foundation to be able to come back to. And now there were times when I didn't want to talk to that boy. Like, no, I can't talk to you. Call your Mimi. Because he stressed me the hell out. Talk to your sister, call your Mimi, call Mr. Darian, call somebody, but get off my nerves. Get out of my face and off my nerves. And now 2020, Chris, he's back to that foundation. They come back. But if you cut them off from everybody in your circle, You've lost them. They don't come back, or they don't come back easily, or they don't come back on their own. So you give them a big enough circle. Why does this thing always shut off? Like, I'm not talking, man. Come on, computer. The frontal lobe isn't fully developed to the mid-20s. Girl, but this boy's frontal lobe needed a little bit more time because he's in his late 20s. He's 29. He's 29. But I tell you what, you're right. I mean, and I understood that. I understood that his ability to reason, but this was not quite there. But this boy would come telling me about logic. He said, then we have a meeting with the parent and child after discussing it with the child and get the buy-in. That's fantastic. But what happens when the buy-in doesn't happen? You're not a girl. Who is that? Is that Eric? The frontal lobe. You know what? It only says, I'm sorry, let me open this up. It only says Facebook user. That must be my cousin Eric talking about I'm not a girl. Let me see. My bad. Let me see. Who is that talking to me that I'm not seeing the name of? It's Eric. Man, stop saying yes. Just be like, Eric, it's me, girl. Oh, there we go. I see you, Eric. I don't know why for some Facebook users it has the name, and then for others it has it just says Facebook user. But truth be told, if you were on YouTube, like I told you to be, like I told you to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you were on YouTube watching, then you would be called out by your name, sir. Follow directions, damn it. But he's 29, and it took him until he just turned 29. So it took him the end of 2019 is when he started deciding he needed to be a different person, because he was an asshole. Let's just be clear. And it got to the point where I was like, you an asshole. Just so you know, you are an asshole. You know, you talk to your child. It's kind of like when you're telling them, okay, be quiet, babe. No, you're making too much noise. No, not that. And then eventually you're like, shut up. Yeah. With him, I'm like, son, you know, you could be a better person. You could be different. You don't have to approach things this way. Maybe you should talk to people a different way. Maybe you should understand how your words affect the people that you're dealing with. Maybe your girlfriend could appreciate a little bit more understanding. Maybe. And then eventually you're like, dude, you an asshole. You just an asshole. I love you because you're my son, but my son is definitely an asshole. He's not an asshole anymore, y'all, though. He's not a jerk. He's not an asshole. He is a solid, solid man. I love that boy. Ooh, it took a minute to get there. Stace says, shit, if you don't have 30 years under your belt, I'm not taking anything seriously. You say, you right, Stace. But this boy would try every bit of me. He would come to me talking about, Mom, that's not logical. Boy, do you even know what logic is? Call you Mimi. Okay? When you get to the point that you can't even talk to your kids anymore, look, call your Mimi, call your auntie, call your uncle. That's why you need your circle to be strong. It is the village. It is the village that takes care of these crumb snatchers when mama and daddy can't do it anymore. Lean on that village. Give them somebody to talk to. Give them somebody solid to talk to. Give them somebody that understands what their role and responsibilities are. Give them that person, because one day, Suli, that boy is going to be, Z is educating you, and one day you're going to be like, Z, oh my God, Z, call Stace. You know who would like to know about that, Z? I think Stace would be very interested in knowing about Abutar, what I can't remember the name, Natuar, whatever the name was. I can't remember. I think that Steve would really appreciate that. You should talk to him about his characters. You know who would like that? Shay. Call Shay. Shay like, how'd I get in this? No, don't call me. Call Eric. Let's everybody call Eric. I'm going to give everybody my cousin's phone number. Everybody send your kids to Eric. Call Eric. Call your Auntie Claudia. Call somebody, man, but don't call me. Don't talk to me. I sit with my kids sometimes. I'm like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I don't know what the hell they say. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's very good. But you know what? At that point though, at that point where they're reaching their mid 20s, late 20s, 30s, you are also becoming a different parent to them. Because I tell you, and don't let them live with you. That's the thing. My relationship with my child, my two older children, is so much better now that I do not live with them. It is a phenomenal relationship. Good morning, Rose. Yeah, you late, girl. Shay said my kids talk about anime all the time. I'd hand them the phone. See, that's what you got to reach out to the village, man. You got to reach out. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Stace, I would love to chat with Z. Now that would be a fun combo. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I need Z to talk to Etienne. When Etienne comes talking about, you know what, Mom? Guess what, Mom? You know what's funny, Mom? It ain't never funny. Whatever he says is never funny. That boy doesn't know how to tell a joke. Like, oh, son, that's not a good joke. That's not, and he is not the kid that I can just laugh like, yeah, that's funny. Can't do that. You did that when he was 5. He's 12. I can't do that because then he takes that old ridiculous joke out to his friends and everybody's making fun of him. So I have to help him understand why that's not actually really a joke. Son, that's not really a joke. This is what a joke is, or this is how you could make that a joke, but that's not really a joke. Mom, what's y minus y? 0? No, y minus y is WH because the word y, WHY, you take the y off and that's WH. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's not funny. Don't tell anybody else that. Weirdo. I love my son and his weirdo self. Anyway, guys. So be comfortable, confident, knowing the people that you have in your lives. In all of your lives are there for you and your kids, even into their, even there for your older kids, Stace and Eric and Steve. They're even there for your older kids. That relationship that you allow them to build when they are young, it carries through with them until their adult life and until they die or something happens between them and that person, right? That is a bond that you're helping them form at an early age in order for them to be able to have more people to lean on when you're not there for them to lean on. And I don't mean not there like because you die, but I just mean when they don't feel comfortable leaning on mom or dad. Give them another strong person to lean on. Bring people into your children's lives. Or even, the interesting thing is have friends. Know of people, like even, it's not even just your young children. Couples should be in community with other couples, right? So Stace and T, you should be in community with other couples because there's that kindred spirit amongst couples, right? Make sure that you guys have a kindred spirit because there are going to be times that Stace, you need to lean on another couple for help with T, and T needs to lean on another couple for help with you. And I don't mean take your problems to everybody else. But I don't know how many times I've taken my mother issues to another mother and then got a very good understanding of the fact that this is what every mother is going through. So just quit tripping off of this Kai because it's normal. So it's the same thing. You take minor things, you talk to other couples, and then you realize, okay, this is just a couple thing. This is just what we do as couples. So not a big deal. You hold stuff to yourself for a long time, you start to make it starts to feel like you're the only one having to go through something. You're the only one stressing, just struggling with this issue, whatever the issue is. They don't put the toilet seat down or they don't put the cap on the toothpaste. All right. Lots of people don't put the cap on the toothpaste. What's that got to do with the price of tea in China, like my mother would say? Stacey said you need help with every day. Someone help. Yeah. You better get off of T's case. We got T's back at this day. Anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Now more than ever, it's really important for us to have people in our children's lives who they can talk to, and people in our lives that we can lean on, or someone else, our significant other, can lean on, and that we trust that lean, that we trust that. because this is how we get through all of the mess that we're going through right now. And this is how our children get through all of the mess. Because there are times when they are not comfortable talking to us. So who do they talk to? Any of your children at this table can call on me at any time. Now, don't be passing my number out to everybody else, but anybody at this table, at any point, it's never a problem. Call. You got a question, you have something I can help that child with. You say, hey, Kai, so this my Z needs help with this. Okay, I don't know how I can help Z. Z can help me though. I need to be leaning on Z for real. That's what I need to do. Anyway, I love you guys at this table. I'm going to get off. I need to get back to work. Thank you, Rose, for keeping me on time. Roses, I love it. Rose, like, girl, 33 minutes, go. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the table every day. Tomorrow is Saturday. We have Tobiah on at the table tomorrow. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Tobiah was a part of the Black Panthers when he was younger. And we are going to talk to him about his participation in the Black Panthers. So join that conversation. That is liable to be a very, very interesting conversation. And I will hope to see you guys at the table. Don't be leaving me stranded when we got company. We had that conversation last week. Don't be tripping when we have company. Oh, it's not after church. It's not after. What time is church? What time is church, Rose? It's at 12 o'clock my time. Let me confirm. I think it works. I'm sorry, Rose. I think it works for most people that it stays early on Saturday, 9, 11, and 12. But you know what, Rose? You can just come back. Oh, you're 11 to 12. So let me confirm with Tobiah the time that he's available tomorrow, and I will post that time in the feed. So don't come back tomorrow talking about I didn't know of a time change. I will post it. If there is a time change, I will post it. So if Tobiah needs a later time or can do a later time, then I will post a time change. If I do not post a time change, oh, you're gonna be hiking tomorrow. Okay, come back and listen to it though. You know, we're on YouTube. Come back and listen to it, like it. That helps my numbers on YouTube. So come back, listen to it for a little bit, and like it on YouTube or Facebook too. You can come back, and YouTube is more important for you to like it on. Maybe Facebook, I don't really know. Anyway, so I will post the time. If I don't post the time, guys, then it's the regular time, 9, 11, and 12. If I don't post I did post the masks. I did post the masks on the feed, on the Tea Time with Kai Live Talks. I put the link to the company. So go in and look. It should be on from yesterday. So just go look at the feed. I didn't post it with the conversation from yesterday. Sorry. I didn't post it with the conversation from yesterday. I posted it as a separate thing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you here tomorrow, 9, 11, and 12, unless you see it posted different, okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, glorious day. Be safe out there. Be safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Physically distance yourselves. But be creative about that so that you can still socialize. All right. Have a wonderful, glorious day.